Alright everyone, so for today's video, I wanted to talk about the Nebula camo grind and how you can actually grind out camos as fast as possible in the easiest ways possible so that you can actually achieve the camo goals that you have in mind. For context, as I'm grinding Nebula, I've been finding that these methods are actually the best, the easiest, and they've been helping me unlock the camos and so much more. Also, I do want this to be a sort of a realistic guide for people who might not have a lot of time in their day to play this game, so these are the methods that you really want to go for, and you should be able to unlock Mystic Gold on a ton of weapons super fast so that you can progress to Opal, Afterlife, and of course eventually Nebula. I've never really been a huge camo grinder in Call of Duty before, but Nebula honestly looks really cool, so I figured why not. But before we do that, be sure to subscribe with notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all the latest uploads. Alright, let's just get right into it. So most of the methods will revolve around directed mode. I tried standard mode out, but at some point you won't be able to grind as easily as in directed mode, and the sheer amount of enemies becomes more of a race than just a camo grinding session. So yes, at some point this does get a bit boring, but honestly directed mode is the best mode for camo grinding. I was pretty annoyed when they patched this out, but they did unpatch their patch, so directed mode is great again, which is good for us. So my favorite map to grind camos on has to be Liberty Falls. This is the easiest map to learn and master, and this is the best map for the camo grind because there aren't too many areas that you need to go to and learn about, and things are pretty solid and easy. Maneuverability is also really great, and it's not a difficult map to memorize. Before I dive specifically into the method, I want to note that one of the best ways to ensure success in this is to make sure that your settings are good and optimized so that you can actually get more headshots. I made a video recently talking about the best controller settings in Black Ops 6, so if you're a controller player, you should definitely go and check that out. I think for zombies, even if you are a KBM player, controller is a lot easier for critical kills because the tracking sort of snaps more onto the zombies' heads, and to get critical kills, of course, we need headshots. So you should check that video out to get better aim in this game for sure. Before you even load into the map, you also want to make sure that you've got a really good loadout on your weapon, and this is because we want to get the most scrap, the most critical kills, and we want to deal the most damage at a time at the fastest rate that we can possibly go. This is going to take some time, so you want to deal damage quickly. You want to search for attachments that have headshot multipliers and things like that, and if you're interested in my favorite assault rifle loadouts for zombies, I made a video about that a few days ago. I'm probably going to make more videos in the future about all the other weapon classes as well, so do subscribe so you can keep up to date with those. In this video, you're seeing the Krig C gameplay. I got the Model L this morning to Mystic Gold, and unfortunately, my recording software decided not to record, so I was a little bit disappointed about that, but at least I got Mystic Gold, you know? I actually got so many calling card challenges too. You know what? It's whatever, it's fine. Anyways, moving on. We don't really need to worry about gobblegums in this because we're not really going to need to use them much when we're trying to get to Mystic Gold. You can load in with whatever gobblegums you want, honestly. They're not that important for this phase of the camo grind. There's no challenge tracker yet that is supposed to be coming in the Season 2 update, as Treyarch announced the other day, but I recommend literally writing down the challenges for the gun that you're working on, and every time you get the challenges, just check them off so you can keep track of what you're supposed to be doing. Since all the guns need a baseline of 2,000 critical kills, just write 2,000 critical kills down because you don't want to track legit every time you get one of the standard camos. They're not that important. Alright, general tips aside, let's get into the best camo grind methods I found so far in my playthrough in Black Ops 6 Zombies. For the Liberty Falls method, what you want to do is you want to first just stick to the starting area and go through it for some time. This is where we're trying to collect essence. You don't really want to do anything else other than kill the zombies that spawn here basically over and over for some time. Keep doing this until the round cap is reached, a little bit maybe even after that, and then you're going to run to the door to the left and make your way in the direction of the church. This is why we wanted to collect all that essence so that we could just open a bunch of doors as fast as we can. Don't make the mistake I made here where I accidentally activated the zip line on this roof. Instead, just keep heading up to the church. If you ever run out of essence at any time, just go through a few capped rounds and then proceed with the next steps. When you reach the church, you're going to want to go to this zip line to the side in the grounds. You're going to want to take it all the way to this rooftop in the distance. This is the rooftop that also has the Dare Wonder Fizz machine on it, which we are definitely going to take advantage of. Automatically in directed mode, it's already there. In standard mode, you would have had to wait until round 25 for it to show up. So the rooftop is a great method because the zombies will spawn in and only come in from a few sides on the roof. You want to run around a bit, and you sort of want to train them in a way where they're all coming at you towards the back here, where the arsenal salvage machine thing is in the back. You're going to want to take advantage of this machine as well later so we can speed the process up a bit. So you're going to first gain a ton of essence, and we want to ensure that we're getting critical kills. Once we have enough essence, get the Deathshot Daiquiri perk first from the Wonder Fizz machine. I know there's a free way to get it in the standard mode, but because all side Easter eggs are not available available in directed mode, you're just going to want to get it from the Wonder Fizz machine. You should have enough essence anyways. This is going to be your best friend because it's going to help you out with those critical kills. You don't really need any of the other perks, but if you really want to get them for fun, I guess you can just to have them. I don't necessarily recommend you get the one that gives you random ammo mods because you don't want to get some of the ammo mods like brain rot and things like that. If you want an ammo mod, you can get one, but I don't think that's going to be very beneficial when it comes to getting Mystic Gold. The most beneficial thing you want to do with your scrap is upgrade the weapon rarity so you can get the kills in faster because it's going to make your gun more powerful, and this is the best way to do it in my opinion. You also want to get the Speed Cola perk from the machine because Speed Cola is going to make reloading and armor replating a lot faster. With how many times you're going to be doing this, you want to make sure that you're reloading quickly so you can get more shots in quickly too, and also it's really boring to wait for the reload. Okay, the less time you have to spend on anything, the better. You're going to do this for some time and it's going to feel really boring. Trust me, but this is the best way to get 2,000 critical kills in a single game. You don't need to go through so many levels. You're not going to deal with specials and elites yet, things like that. It'll be much easier to complete in Liberty Falls at the round 9 cap. You can also have done this at the round 7 cap. What I did was when I made the mistake of going to the rooftop before the church, it capped at round 7. I eventually went to the church and like opened that area up. I didn't open the zip line up because I don't want another area for zombies to be able to come in on the rooftop. So I mean, I just ran back. It's not that big of a deal. But at a round 9 cap, you just get more zombies. You are going to get armored zombies, I will say, but it does tend to be a little bit easier because, for instance, the Model L required that you kill some armored zombies after you get Mystic Gold. So it's just kind of like once you finish Mystic Gold, you can start on that thing right away, sort of a thing. But in any case, round 7, round 9, the difference is not so huge. It's just there's more zombies at round 9, so you do get more critical kills per round cap repeat. Now, at some point, you're going to be done with the 2,000 critical kills, which is great. At this point, we want to round up the round cap to a point where we actually get things like special zombies and things like that. So you're going to have amassed a ton of essence at this point. Here, you want to grab Juggernog from the Wonder Fizz machine, head down to the church so we can get the weapon to be pack-a-punched. So for whatever weapon you have, your special camos are likely going to require you to do something like kill armored zombies, kill vermin, kill elites, get a certain figure of kills in a certain period of time, and so on and so forth. These are going to force you into some higher rounds, which is very fine. We don't need to worry. If you pack-a-punch your weapon, you'll be able to deal with these things easily. Don't pack-a-punch before you get the special stuff, and the reason being is that some weapons in Black Ops 6 get special abilities when you pack-a-punch them, and the problem with that is that they don't necessarily make getting critical kills easier. For instance, you've got the GS45 pistol or the LR7.62, which they're great when they're pack-a-punched because they shoot basically exploding ammo, and that's great for getting tons of kills quickly in a higher round, but for a critical kill, you're going to be at a disadvantage. This is why I don't recommend you pack-a-punch earlier than the special camos. In any case, to get Mystic Gold on any weapon in this game, you're going to have to get 10 kills rapidly 15 times after you get the 2 special camos per gun. This is super easy to get done fast after the special camos because all you have to do is train the zombies to get basically in a line coming straight at you, and then you're going to just unleash hell on them and get out of the way quickly. Melee, you're probably going to have a tougher time with this, but other weapons should be fine. This is where you'll want stuff like exploding ammo and whatnot because you can just take out like a ton of zombies in a single shot, which is great. The process of grinding Mystic Gold is probably the most boring part of the camo grind, to be fair. It's the lengthiest and the most grindy part. The other things just feel a lot easier and much more doable in shorter periods of time, but the hard part is just getting to Mystic Gold. The thing is though, the Liberty Falls method is really tedious, and I'm not gonna lie, like I said earlier, this gets boring fast. So if you don't like this method or you got bored after some time of doing it, another thing that you can do is play the main Easter egg quest in Citadel de Mort. You don't need to actually finish the Easter egg or anything. You don't even need to progress that far in it. What you should do is you should focus on getting to higher rounds where there's constantly going to be a lot of zombies that are spawning in. The best part in Citadel de Mort has to be the beginning area, rotunda type thing. Here you can just train the zombies and start shooting in a progressive line. This too can get boring after some time though, so you want to do that for the first few rounds and then make your way up to the castle. Make sure to prioritize though the following perks: Juggernog, Stamina Up, and Speed Cola. Also Deadshot Daiquiri. The rest of the perks in the game you can get later if you want them, if you're progressing through the Easter egg quest a lot, things like that, but the ones I just mentioned are the most vital in order to actually staying alive the longest and getting a lot of kills. For Opal, you're gonna need to get 30 special zombie eliminations. Special zombies are Doppelgasts and Manglers. Manglers are on Liberty Falls and Terminus, Doppelgasts are on Citadel de Mort. So I think Manglers and Doppelgasts are both difficult enough to deal with, but Manglers are just a bit more doable since they're in the 2 other maps. If you want to go through Liberty Falls in directed mode, this is super easy because around round 11 or so, there's a guaranteed Mangler each time. So yeah, it's gonna take you 30 tries of that one round, but at least you get a guaranteed shot each time to get to Opal. It's gonna take some time, but if you aren't trying to do this all in one day, it's a lot more doable. Also, the way to get to the mangler really quickly is if you stand in front of this spawn point right here on the rooftop. It's just gonna come there every single time. So 30 rounds, yeah, and then you're done. I know it sounds like a lot, but you know, you just have to do it 30 times. Do note that to get to Opal, you need to have gotten Mystic Gold on a specific number of weapons in the particular weapon class that you're on. I think special weapons are an exception though, so you can grind the special weapon out first if you really want to get Nebula on something. For Afterlife, getting 20 consecutive kills with no damage is pretty easy. Just stick to Liberty Falls for that one. You need to do this 10 times though, so do be aware of that. After this, you have the elite zombies, and to get Nebula, you need 10 elite zombies. So the trick to this part, which I figured out while grinding for Mystic Gold, and I'm planning on doing this myself, is that they spawned at round 16 in Terminus for the first time. You can't do this in Directed because the level cap is round 15. So what you want to do basically is do this in Standard, deal with the elite that spawns, and then leave the game and do this again 10 times. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it? The Nebula camo grind is very tedious, but it's not impossible. My recommendation though is that you don't necessarily do this like in one day or anything like that. If you only have a limited amount of time to play per day, and for instance you want to get some multiplayer and zombies in, I recommend doing just a little bit at a time. Spread it out, you know, you basically have the entire game's life cycle to do this. That's why I said this is a more like realistic approach, because you don't need to do this in one sitting unless you really want to. If you don't have all the time in the world, then just every single day maybe hop on a little bit on Liberty Falls, get to Mystic Gold slowly. You don't have to get to it right away. There's like a lot of weapons. You don't need to do this every single day unless like that's something you really want to do. But if there are specific weapons you want to progress through quickly, these tips should definitely help you out anyways. And I'll wrap things up there. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications set to all so you never miss out on a single upload. Share this video and comment below your thoughts on the Nebula camo grind, and if you're going for it, or if you're going to take some time on it, or if you're trying to do it as fast as you can. And that's all for today, folks.